Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the top 4 most valuable Washington quarters. While most of these coins are worth just 25 cents, some rare dates and mint errors have turned ordinary-looking quarters into collector treasures worth thousands of dollars in today's market. Let's get started. First up, the Washington quarter dollar has long been one of the cornerstones of American coinage, admired for its classic design, everyday use, and strong role in U.S. history. Among the many issues produced over the decades, the 1995 Washington quarter with the D mint mark stands out as an exciting and highly collectible piece. Even in circulated condition, this coin continues to show strong demand in today's action market and carries a value far beyond its face worth for collectors who understand its importance. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin was never intended to be a one-year commemorative but quickly became a permanent part of American currency. By 1995, the Washington quarter had already seen decades of service, and its place in U.S. coinage was deeply cemented. The obverse design of the 1995 D quarter displays the iconic bust of George Washington. His strong and dignified profile is framed by the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the date at the bottom. Even in circulated condition, the 1995 quarter shows its character, with Washington's features carrying the timeless dignity that has made this coin one of the most collected pieces in American history. On the reverse side, the traditional heraldic eagle spreads its wings proudly. Clutching arrows and an olive branch, the eagle represents America's readiness to defend its freedom while maintaining its commitment to peace. Above the eagle is the bold inscription, "United States of America," and below, quarter dollar. This design is simple, powerful, and enduring, which is part of the reason it remains so admired by numismatists today. The 1995 Washington quarter with the D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint. The small D on the obverse, just to the right of Washington's ponytail, confirms its origin. Mint marks are critical to collectors because they help identify and separate coins within a series. The Denver Mint's production adds a layer of appeal to this coin, especially when compared with its Philadelphia counterpart. In terms of specifications, the 1995 D Washington quarter is composed of a copper-nickel clad, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter. While the silver content had been removed decades earlier, the copper-nickel alloy allowed for durability and a strong shine when new. Even after years in circulation, these coins carry a unique look that appeals to collectors who seek originality and history together in one piece. Rarity is one of the strongest factors driving interest in the 1995 D Washington quarter. While millions were struck, many have been heavily circulated, leaving behind only a smaller pool of well-preserved coins. Even circulated examples are gaining traction because collectors understand the importance of securing each date and mint mark as part of a complete set. The circulated condition of the 1995 D quarter does not diminish its appeal, but instead adds character. Every mark and sign of wear tells the story of its journey through the hands of countless Americans. Collectors often appreciate this sense of history, and a coin in circulated condition still holds great value when placed in the larger context of numismatic demand. The action market for Washington quarters is particularly strong, with collectors around the world eager to complete sets from the 20th century. The 1995 D quarter has become a must-have for anyone looking to secure a full run of quarters before the statehood series began in 1999. Its place in the timeline makes it highly desirable, and it continues to command impressive attention in auctions and private sales. When it comes to current market value, the 1995 D Washington quarter in circulated condition has consistently proven to be more valuable than face value. Its combination of historical relevance, collector interest, and strong design appeal ensures that it draws premium prices compared to ordinary pocket change. Collectors know that this is a coin that will only grow stronger with time, making it a smart addition to any portfolio. For collectors seeking to maximize value, examining the details is key. Stronger details in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the clarity of inscriptions all contribute to higher desirability. Even circulated examples with sharp design features can attract excellent offers in the marketplace, showing how important condition is to collectors. Another tip for collectors is to pay close attention to mint marks. The D on the 1995 quarter makes it distinct from the Philadelphia and San Francisco issues. Building a complete set of mint marks ensures greater value and recognition, and the Denver issue is one that collectors never overlook. The positive demand for the 1995 D Washington quarter also comes from the emotional connection it brings. For many collectors, quarters from the 1990s bring back memories of a time before the dramatic design shift of the statehood quarters. This nostalgic factor adds another layer of appeal, making the 1995 D more than just a collectible coin, but also a sentimental piece of American history. As the years pass, quarters from the pre-statehood era are only becoming more sought after. The 1995 D quarter sits at the end of the classic eagle reverse design, making it one of the later issues before the monumental change of 1999. Collectors know this significance, and it boosts the long-term value of the coin. For new collectors, the 1995 D Washington quarter offers an exciting entry point into U.S. numismatics. It is affordable, yet full of historical and design importance, making it accessible to beginners while still being appreciated by advanced collectors. This wide appeal ensures steady and growing demand in the market. Ultimately, the 1995 D Washington quarter in circulated condition represents the perfect balance of history, collectability, and value. Its timeless design, connection to the legacy of George Washington, and strong action market demand make it a treasure worth seeking out. Whether you are building a set or investing in coins with proven long-term appeal, the 1995 D quarter is a powerful choice. The Washington quarter dollar 1995 with the D mint mark is not just pocket change. It is a symbol of American history, artistry, and enduring demand. Even in circulated condition, it continues to command attention and high value in the marketplace. Collectors who recognize its significance and secure it today are holding onto a coin that will only rise in importance and worth with every passing year. Next up, the 1974 Washington quarter with the D mint mark is a powerful example of this legacy. In very fine condition, it continues to captivate collectors in today's action market, commanding strong demand and impressive dollar value. The Washington quarter series began in 1932, originally created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin quickly became a permanent part of U.S. circulation rather than just a one-year commemorative. By 1974, the quarter had already been in use for over 4 decades and had firmly established itself as a cornerstone of American coinage. The obverse of the 1974 D quarter features the bold profile of George Washington. His portrait radiates dignity and strength, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the date 1974 displayed prominently below. Even in very fine condition, the sharpness of Washington's features remains clear, making the coin stand out as a collectible piece of history. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle design remains one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage. The eagle, wings spread wide and talons gripping arrows and an olive branch, represents the balance between America's readiness to defend its freedom and its commitment to peace. The inscriptions "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and "Quarter Dollar" frame the image, reinforcing its patriotic symbolism. The D mint mark on this coin identifies it as being struck at the Denver Mint. This small but important detail, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse, gives the coin its identity and makes it distinct from the Philadelphia and San Francisco issues. For collectors, mint marks are crucial in building complete sets, and the 1974 D is an essential piece in that puzzle. The specifications of the 1974 D Washington quarter reflect the modern composition adopted in 1965. Made of a copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, the coin weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Its durability ensured it could withstand years of circulation, yet in very fine condition, its details remain attractive and highly collectible. While the mintage of 1974 D quarters was significant, many of these coins have been lost to circulation, wear, or damage. This reality makes very fine examples far less common than one might assume. Collectors recognize that coins from this era, though seemingly ordinary, are increasingly difficult to find in strong condition, which raises demand and value. The rarity of the 1974 D in very fine condition adds to its appeal. Every detail on Washington's portrait and the eagle's feathers becomes more meaningful when preserved. Collectors understand that condition directly influences desirability, and coins like this stand out against heavily worn counterparts, which often lose much of their charm. In today's action market, the 1974 D Washington quarter holds a secure place of value. Collectors actively seek it to complete their quarter sets from the 1970s, a decade that bridges the gap between the classic Washington design and the more modern commemorative issues. Its presence in auctions and private sales continues to be strong, proving that its appeal has only grown with time. The current market value of a 1974 D quarter in very fine condition goes far beyond its face value. Collectors are willing to pay premiums for coins that showcase clear details and sharp preservation. With growing interest in pre-statehood quarters, this coin is positioned as a smart investment for anyone building a collection with long-term potential. For collectors, one of the keys to maximizing value lies in carefully examining the coin's finer details. The more visible Washington's hairlines, the eagle's wings, and the clarity of inscriptions, the greater the coin's appeal. These features often determine whether a coin trades at basic collectible value or attracts higher offers from serious buyers. Another factor that boosts the desirability of the 1974 D quarter is its role in history. This coin comes from a time before the nation shifted its quarter design to the statehood program in 1999. For collectors, it represents the classic era of the eagle reverse, and coins from this period are becoming more prized as they grow older. Tips for collectors include securing coins directly from reputable sellers or carefully searching through rolls and collections for strong examples. Holding on to 1974 D quarters in very fine condition can prove profitable, as demand shows no sign of slowing down. As with all numismatic treasures, the earlier you secure your piece, the greater your long-term advantage. What makes the 1974 D quarter even more exciting is its balance of affordability and collectability. It is accessible to new collectors while still valuable enough to attract experienced numismatists. This wide-ranging appeal keeps demand high across all levels of collecting, ensuring that the coin remains an active player in the market. The positive demand for this coin is also fueled by nostalgia. Quarters from the 1970s represent an era that many collectors personally remember, and holding on to such coins often connects them with their own life stories. That emotional link strengthens the desire to preserve and treasure the 1974 D quarter. As time passes, quarters like the 1974 D in very fine condition will only become harder to find. This growing scarcity combined with increasing collector interest ensures that their market value will continue to rise. Forward-thinking collectors are locking in their pieces now, knowing that the payoff in the future could be substantial. The Washington quarter dollar 1974 with the D mint mark in very fine condition is much more than just a piece of pocket change. It is a symbol of American history, artistry, and strength. Its rarity, condition, and timeless design guarantee its place as a highly sought-after coin in the collector's market. Those who recognize its value today are securing not only a piece of history, but also a treasure that will grow even more desirable with each passing year. Next up, the Washington quarter dollar from 1986, bearing the P mint mark, shines as an extraordinary coin that continues to capture the attention of collectors. In very fine condition, this coin is not only a piece of circulating money, but a highly demanded collectible with growing value in today's action market. To understand its significance, we must revisit its history. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a permanent fixture in U.S. coinage. By the time 1986 arrived, the Washington quarter had already celebrated more than 5 decades of circulation, yet it still carried the same design that had made it a national favorite. The obverse of the 1986 quarter is graced by Washington's left-facing profile, bold and commanding, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." with the date 1986 at the bottom. Even in very fine condition, the details of Washington's hair, forehead, and facial structure remain clear and distinct, making the coin visually appealing to collectors who value both history and artistry. On the reverse, the powerful heraldic eagle design reinforces America's values of strength and peace. With its wings spread wide, arrows in one talon, and an olive branch in the other, the eagle symbolizes readiness and unity. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and quarter dollar are prominently displayed, emphasizing the coin's importance as both money and a patriotic emblem. The P Mint mark is another feature that adds interest to this coin. Located to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse, it identifies the Philadelphia Mint as the place of production. This was still relatively new, as the Philadelphia Mint had only started adding its P Mint mark to quarters in 1980. For collectors, the presence of this mint mark gives the 1986 issue a distinctive place in Washington quarter history. The specifications of this coin are also worth noting. It was struck in the copper-nickel-clad composition that had been adopted in 1965, replacing the earlier 90% silver quarters. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. Its composition ensured durability for circulation, but well-preserved examples in very fine condition have become increasingly difficult to find. The 1986 P quarter had a large mintage, but most pieces entered circulation and were subjected to heavy use. As a result, coins in very fine condition are now far scarcer than their original production numbers might suggest. Collectors value these coins because they represent the best-preserved survivors of their era, especially at a time when many examples show heavy wear or damage. Rarity in the coin market is not always about low mintages. It is often about survival in strong condition. The 1986 P Washington quarter perfectly illustrates this principle. With each passing year, finding circulated coins that still display strong detail becomes more challenging, which increases their desirability among collectors. Demand for this coin in very fine condition continues to rise, fueled by both nostalgia and investment potential. Collectors who grew up during the 1980s often feel a strong connection to coins from that decade, and owning a 1986 P quarter allows them to hold on to a tangible piece of their past. At the same time, investors recognize that condition and demand are steadily driving values upward in today's action market. The market value of a 1986 P quarter in very fine condition extends far beyond its 25-cent face value. Collectors are willing to pay a premium to secure coins that retain sharp details and overall visual appeal. With interest in pre-statehood quarters growing stronger, coins from the 1980s are no longer overlooked, but are instead becoming sought-after collectibles. For collectors, one of the best strategies is to focus on coins like the 1986 P that offer both accessibility and growth potential. While not yet priced out of reach, their trajectory in the market suggests continued appreciation in value, making them a wise choice for both beginner and seasoned numismatists. Another point of attraction is the consistency of the Washington quarter design. From 1932 until 1998, the Flanagan design dominated the quarter, creating a long and rich series that collectors enjoy completing. The 1986 P quarter serves as a vital link in that chain, and having it in very fine condition makes any collection stronger and more impressive. Tips for collectors include examining coins closely to ensure they meet the standards of very fine condition. Look for visible details in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the inscriptions. Avoid pieces that show excessive wear or scratches, as condition is one of the most powerful drivers of value in the numismatic market. It is also wise for collectors to protect their coins properly once acquired. Using archival safe holders or albums helps preserve their condition, ensuring that their value remains strong in the future. With the right care, a 1986 P quarter in very fine condition can continue to stand out for decades to come. The excitement surrounding coins like the 1986 P quarter lies in their balance of rarity, history, and affordability. They are not only within reach for collectors today, but also hold the promise of increasing value tomorrow. This makes them one of the most attractive categories of coins currently available in the action market. As years go by, More collectors will look to secure Washington quarters from the 1980s, and the 1986 P will remain among the most desirable because of its strong design, appealing mint mark, and connection to history. The earlier you add this coin to your collection, the greater the advantage you'll have as demand continues to grow. The 1986 Washington quarter dollar with the P mint mark in very fine condition is a treasure that combines history, artistry, and market value. It represents the enduring legacy of George Washington, the artistry of John Flanagan, and the strength of American coinage. In today's competitive collector market, it is a coin of high demand and undeniable value, making it an excellent choice for anyone seeking to own a piece of numismatic history that will only shine brighter with time. Next up, the Washington quarter dollar of 1967 stands as one of the most fascinating coins in modern American numismatics. Without a mint mark, struck during a time of transition in the U.S. Mint, and now surviving in very good condition, this coin represents far more than a simple 25-cent piece. It carries history, artistry, and collector intrigue that makes it a prized possession in today's action market. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, it replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a permanent part of American coinage. By 1967, the quarter had already been in circulation for 35 years, carrying the proud image of the nation's first president through decades of change. The year 1967 was a significant one for U.S. coinage because the Mint was addressing a nationwide coin shortage. To meet demand, the Mint suspended the use of mint marks from 1965 through 1967. That is why the 1967 Washington quarter does not have a mint mark, making it unique in the series and immediately recognizable to collectors who know the story behind it. The obverse of the coin displays George Washington's left-facing portrait, with the word Liberty inscribed boldly above his head, and In God We Trust to the left. The date 1967 appears clearly at the bottom. Even in very good condition, the features of Washington's profile remain distinct, capturing the elegance and strength that define this design. The reverse continues with the iconic heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch, representing the dual message of readiness for defense and hope for peace. The inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum remind us of national unity, while quarter dollar anchors the bottom. This timeless design resonates strongly with collectors and patriots alike. Another important detail is the composition of the coin. Like all quarters minted from 1965 onward, the 1967 Washington quarter was struck in a copper-nickel clad composition instead of the traditional 90% silver used before. The clad alloy gave the coin more durability for circulation, but also marked the end of an era in American coinage. Collectors today see 1967 quarters as representing this turning point in U.S. monetary history. In terms of physical specifications, the coin weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and carries a reeded edge. These specifications are standard for clad quarters, yet each coin carries the charm of its year, with its own circulation history and survival condition. The rarity of the 1967 Washington quarter does not stem from a low mintage, as millions were struck to ease the coin shortage. Instead, its rarity lies in condition and historical context. Because these coins were heavily circulated, most examples today show significant wear. A coin in very good condition, such as the one we are discussing, is far less common and therefore highly appealing to collectors. Collectors value these coins because they tell a story. The absence of a mint mark immediately links the 1967 quarter to that unique 3-year period in U.S. mint history. This adds depth to its collectability, making it much more than a common pocket change coin. Its condition elevates its status further, showing it survived decades with strong detail intact. Demand for the 1967 quarter has been rising steadily as more collectors focus on clad-era coins. While silver-era quarters naturally attract attention, clad quarters like the 1967 issue are gaining recognition as important historical pieces in their own right. As collectors seek to complete sets, the appeal of coins in very good condition grows even stronger. The action market today reflects this demand. A 1967 Washington quarter in very good condition commands far more than its face value of 25 cents. Collectors are paying premiums for coins with solid detail, no major damage, and strong eye appeal. The upward trend in prices shows the growing respect for Clad-era coins among serious numismatists. Tips for collectors include carefully checking for condition. Look at Washington's hair detail, the clarity of the eagle's wings, and the sharpness of inscriptions. These are the features that distinguish a very good condition coin from a worn example. Protecting your coin in a safe holder or album will preserve its value and ensure its beauty remains intact for years to come. It is also wise for collectors to consider the long-term value of 1967 quarters. As more people recognize the importance of Clad-era coins, prices will only continue to climb. Investing in a 1967 Washington quarter today means owning a piece of numismatic history that grows more valuable over time. The appeal of this coin goes beyond collectors alone. For history enthusiasts, it represents America in the 1960s, a decade of transformation, both culturally and economically. Holding a 1967 quarter is like holding a piece of that era, preserved in copper and nickel for future generations to admire. Collectors also appreciate that the 1967 quarter is part of a continuous design series that lasted until 1998. It connects directly to earlier silver quarters while leading into the modern state quarters program. This makes it an essential coin for anyone building a comprehensive collection of U.S. quarters. The value of the 1967 quarter in very good condition lies not only in its market price, but also in its symbolic significance. It bridges the gap between silver and clad coinage, tells the story of the U.S. Mint's response to a national challenge, and carries the image of a founding father who shaped the nation. In conclusion, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark in very good condition is a rare and highly desirable collectible in today's action market. It combines historical importance, unique features, strong demand, and growing value in dollars. For collectors and investors alike, it is a coin of opportunity, an enduring treasure that will only shine brighter with time.